Do you feel tired all the time? Find you're often in a bad mood? Or do you frequently feel bloated, constipated, or gassy? I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. You need to know that suffering with these issues may not be your fault. You may have unwittingly fallen into a dangerous trap set by a deceptive cartel of commercial processed food manufacturers and their slick advertising agency cronies who have you convinced that you're eating healthy foods when in fact you're doing just the opposite. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Sherman. I'm a gastroenterologist and I've been practicing medicine since 2001. You may recognize me from the television show The Doctors, where I've been the go-to expert on all gastrointestinal issues. In this short presentation, I'm going to expose 3 popular health foods that are probably sitting in your pantry right now and that may be the root cause of your health and digestive issues. I'm also going to let you in on a secret I discovered years ago, which has worked for my patients and thousands of people suffering just like you. This one thing has helped many of my patients return to enjoying some of their favorite foods without the stomach pains, gas, bloating, diarrhea, indigestion, and heartburn they typically experienced. The 3 popular health foods I'm going to reveal right now are so harmful to your health that they may be the very thing that is making you sick. The first one is the most shocking, so please pay close attention. Grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes. These are dangerous foods you need to avoid immediately, so please do yourself a favor and keep watching. I found myself frequently frustrated seeing many of my patients who felt they were doing their best to eat healthy foods, only to still be plagued with the same stomach problems of someone who eats fatty, fried, and processed junk foods all day. I've seen patients try everything from cleanses to high-fiber diets, supplements to specialty teas and drinks. None of it really seemed to help them. But these were not problems only my patients were experiencing. A recent survey showed that as much as 74% of Americans are living with digestive issues such as diarrhea, gas, bloating, and abdominal pain, many with symptoms ongoing for many months or years. That is 3 out of every 4 Americans. The challenge is that most people don't know the root cause of their problems aren't just lurking in the foods they know are bad for them, but are actually hidden in many of the foods they've been sold to believe are health foods. The foods I'm going to share with you are those the billion-dollar food manufacturers don't want you to know the truth about. Here's something that may catch you off guard. While your family's health history, genetics, lifestyle, and the type of vitamin supplements you may be using are all important factors, the answer to the digestive problems you're experiencing has little to do with those factors. Are you aware that very common foods, some you are most likely eating every day, even those advertised as healthy foods, can be the culprits when it comes to your digestion and other health issues? A few other important things we're going to cover in just a moment are how closely associated your digestive health is to your stress level, and why taking antibiotics, even the ones you don't realize are hidden in your foods, can be causing you serious harm. I will also be telling you how, in just seconds a day, you can improve your digestive health, along with your overall health. And it has nothing to do with keeping to a restrictive diet or beginning an intense workout program. What you're about to learn is a simple way in which you can start eating what you like and still be able to eliminate the gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and heartburn associated with those foods. I'm so excited that you're watching this presentation because I know within just minutes from now, you will possess a far greater understanding about the foods you should be avoiding and an incredible solution that will help you find success in losing weight and be able to once again find joy and pleasure in eating the foods you love without any of the negative digestive effects you've come to expect. This solution isn't just something I think will work for you. It is something I know will work based on hundreds of clinical studies and the positive effects I've seen with so many of my patients. As a doctor, nothing makes me happier than to see people overcome problems such as irritable bowel syndrome, bloating, gas, acid reflux, and abdominal pains that can range from discomfort to excruciating pain. Nothing thrills me more than to see a patient who finally can lose that stubborn excess belly fat. And nothing makes me happier than to see someone suffering from colitis receive a new lease on life with an improved mood, deeper and sounder sleep, and increased energy. They're once again able to find more joy, happiness, and satisfaction in so many aspects of their lives. Once you start following my proven method, I can assure you that not only will you look better, but your body will be working better as well. This is because your body will finally be getting exactly what it needs to achieve the proper balance. Now is the time to end your digestive problems with my revolutionary solution. The days of having to stare at a restaurant menu, wondering which dish is going to keep you up all night in anguish, can finally be behind you. And my method is incredibly simple and easy to integrate into your daily routine. Before we go any further, I need to tell you about the first health food that is actually horrible for your digestion. It's probably sitting in your pantry right now, and for many, it will come as a real shock. I'm talking about wheat bread. For the last 50 years, the US government has told us that whole grains are an essential part of a balanced diet. Since then, the American population has only gotten sicker and fatter. The seemingly healthier alternative to white bread contains what is possibly the most potent digestive destroyer of all, lectins. Found at the very top of a wheat stalk are the seed kernels. Like all living organisms, a plant's mission is to survive. Its seeds are what it counts on to continue the species' existence on the planet. To protect its seeds from being eaten by predators, many plants have developed a powerful poison defense system lying in the outer layer of the seed, called lectins. These are sugar-binding protein structures, and when consumed, they act as nuclear bombs, wreaking havoc on our digestive system, causing bloating, gas, abdominal cramps, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, acne, and even impact how your brain thinks. I'll tell you more about that in just a bit. To make matters even worse, thanks to modern science, these wheat plants are now genetically modified monsters filled with incredibly destructive superlectins. Renowned cardiologist Dr. William Davis explains in his best-selling book, Wheat Belly, the traditional 4.5-foot tall grain is now a high-yield, 18-foot tall, stocky, semi-dwarf strain. This can't be good for us. When lectins enter our digestive system, they act like heat-seeking missiles, latching onto the inside wall of our gut, prying open the lining, and breaking through the barrier, bringing with them small particles of toxic bacteria your body has been working so hard to keep out. As these bad bugs enter the bloodstream, the immune system goes on high alert and starts attacking. These invading bacterial proteins can closely resemble body tissue, confusing your immune system into attacking healthy cells, leading to inflammation. Over time, a continued inflammatory response can result in joint pain, obesity, acne, acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, and many other very painful digestive disorders. Scientists believe that what in the past may have been considered bacterial food poisoning may really be lectin poisoning. A 2014 study published in the journal Gut Microbes found that when the gut wall is breached, the bad bugs that enter our body can interfere with our vital nutrient supply and even impact our brain function. While our brain handles critical mental and motor functions, our gut handles the key function of breaking down foods, filtering out toxins, and pulling in vitamins and nutrients to supply energy throughout the body. Our gut communicates with our brain by sending signals, which are like text messages, to the brain, telling it what our body needs. Once the bad bugs enter your system, they hijack your gut's communication system and start sending text messages to our brain to go look for foods we would not otherwise consume. Ever wonder why you suddenly have a craving for a donut or some sugar-laced cakes and candies? Well, these highly addictive foods contain simple sugars and saturated fats that obesogenic bacteria thrive on, and the more sugar they get, the faster they grow. These bad bugs can control your very behavior. When too many bad bugs build up in your gut, you're in for a world of stomach pains, bloating, gas, constipation, and diarrhea. This is your body's way of signaling to you that there is a major problem, that your gut has been overrun with bad gut bacteria and doesn't have enough good gut bacteria to balance things out. I'll explain more about the importance of bacterial balance just in a moment. While cutting out wheat bread can help you avoid some of these harmful lectins, you won't be able to avoid them hiding out as an ingredient in foods like canned soup, frozen dinners, and even salad dressing. In a minute, I'm going to share with you a natural fix that has been helping my patients fight off these bad gut bacteria, nourish the good ones, and bring back the important healthy microbial gut balance. This is a simple and easy method. It takes just seconds a day and will allow you to continue enjoying some of your favorite wheat-based foods without all the digestive pain. Let me take a moment and further explain what I mean by having a balanced gut. As a gastroenterologist, what I find most fascinating is about 90% of all the cells that make up our body are actually non-human cells. They are bacteria, viruses, fungus, and even worms that live in us and on us. We have a symbiotic relationship with these microorganisms. Our gut microbiome is made up of trillions of these microorganisms, helping to break down food and liquids into carbohydrates, fats, and proteins used for energy and cellular regeneration. In exchange, we give these bacteria food and shelter. When in balance, the good bacteria in your gut keeps you healthy by preventing an overgrowth of the bad bacteria, such as harmful microbes, yeasts, and parasites, which can cause an imbalance. Do you remember the 1980s movie Gremlins? Well, bad bacteria are a lot like gremlins. Feed them the wrong food, and they'll create a serious mess in your digestive system. This leads me to my second harmful food that is not only destroying your health, but also can be the reason for an expanding waistline. It is almost certainly in your refrigerator right now. I'm talking about fat-free salad dressing like Marzetti's sweet and sour fat-free dressing, which contain large amounts of one of the most harmful ingredients, high fructose corn syrup. When manufacturers remove the fat from dressing, they end up also removing the flavor. To make up for the removed fat, they add in cheap high fructose corn syrup. Princeton University researchers with the Neuroscience Institute reported that the seemingly healthier alternative to sugar increases your risk of chronic health problems, including obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. The problem is that high fructose corn syrup is a sweetener derived from cornstarch, and it contains more fructose than table sugar. This makes it very dangerous. You're basically taking deadly trans fats and sugar, then pouring them all over your healthy, nutritious salad. A study conducted by the Children's Hospital Oakland Research Institute found that fructose is difficult for the gut to absorb and uses up a lot of the fuel needed to maintain the integrity of the intestinal linings. With the gut's defenses compromised, fructose can puncture holes in the lining, allowing harmful bacterial toxins to enter the bloodstream. This triggers inflammation leading to abdominal pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, and obesity. If you've wondered why you can't put down those fat-free chips and cookies, it's more than likely that fructose is to blame. Fructose is a chemical your brain simply does not recognize. It tricks the brain into overeating by interfering with the hormone ghrelin, which tells you when you're hungry. You never know when you're full, and so you keep eating and eating. Fructose also has an addictive quality rivaled by some of the most illegal hard drugs, such as cocaine and heroin. Dr. James DiNicolantonio, a cardiovascular research scientist, has said, when you look at animal studies comparing sugar to cocaine, even when you get the rats hooked on IV cocaine, once you introduce sugar, almost all of them switch to the sugar. Even the former head of Food and Drug Administration, Dr. David Kessler, has gone on record exposing high fructose corn syrup as an ingredient all Americans should absolutely stay away from. Despite all the warnings, the average American still consumes 41.4 pounds of high fructose corn syrup per year. It is no wonder why 70% of children aged 5 to 17 are overweight and 17% are obese. The best thing you can do when eating a healthy, nutritious salad is to make your own salad dressing using olive oil, balsamic vinegar, or lemon juice. Don't worry though, in just a minute, I'm going to show you my simple solution to fight off the harmful sugar-loving bacteria and how to restore proper gut balance in your microbiome. This is my proven and easy method that will still allow you to enjoy a sweet treat on occasion without the painful regret. This brings me to my next harmful health food, which statistics have shown was consumed by over 186 million Americans in 2017. This popular breakfast food is none other than low-fat yogurt, and it's putting your health in danger and making your stomach a breeding ground for nasty bacteria. While you might think you're getting much-needed good bacterial strains into your stomach when you eat yogurt, the truth is commercially produced yogurt only contains at best a few million low-grade strains of friendly bacteria. To get any real benefits, you would need to eat cases of the stuff. But what you might not realize is that almost all yogurts sold in grocery stores are heat-treated after culturing, which is a fancy way of saying that the yogurt was pasteurized after the healthy organisms were added. This process indiscriminately kills both bad microbes and the good live cultures you were counting on for their healthy benefits. But manufacturers love pasteurization because it allows them to make more money by extending the shelf life of yogurt. But you, the consumers, ultimately pay the price. Just like fat-free salad dressing, fat-free yogurt manufacturers need to make up for the removal of flavorful fats by adding in corn syrup, sugar, antibiotics, hormones, and other unhealthy ingredients. Yes, even some yogurts labeled natural or organic can contain these harmful, unnecessary sweeteners. Look at Dannon's plain low-fat yogurt. While it seems like a healthy alternative to fruit-flavored yogurts, it still contains 16 grams of sugar per serving. This is equal to 4 teaspoons of granulated sugar. Compare that to a McDonald's Big Mac burger, which has plenty of bad fat, but still only 9 grams of sugar. That healthy breakfast option that you thought was doing good for your gut with friendly bacteria ends up not giving you much, if any, good bacteria strains, and is the same as downing 4 packets of sugar each morning. Yogurt sounds more like a candy snack than any health food I know. The plain truth is, sugar is not only making us fatter, it's also destroying our health with each bite. The big processed food manufacturers are using multi-billion-dollar advertising campaigns to sell you on the idea of a healthy morning meal, when really you're eating a highly addictive, health-destroying breakfast each day. I recommend replacing store-bought low-fat yogurt with plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, and then add some fresh fruit to give it some sweetness. If you're like me and don't enjoy the taste of yogurt, I'm going to show you my solution to get the right kind of bacteria directly into your gut each day. Let me take a second and tell you something personal. The main reason I had accepted the offer to join the show The Doctors as their digestive health expert was because I want to be able to get the message out about digestive health and be able to change more lives than just those limited to the number of patients I can see in any given day at my office. My warning about sugar is that it can lead to a very serious chronic health condition in the gut called Candida overgrowth syndrome. Candida is a form of yeast that lives alongside trillions of other bacteria in your gut. If your gut microflora is kept in balance, it's okay to have a small amount of Candida. However, Candida loves nothing more than to feed on sugar and sweeteners. Left unchecked, it dangerously overgrows, spilling into your digestive tract, breaking down the walls of the intestinal lining, and penetrates into your bloodstream, bringing with other toxins. Candida can be hard to diagnose as it causes such a wide range of symptoms, from chronic fatigue, intestinal distress, mood disorders, brain fog, and hormonal imbalance. Much like any other yeast infection, it can cause recurring vaginal and urinary tract infections, as well as skin and nail fungal infections. Findings published in the 2016 journal MBio determined for the first time that a certain kind of Candida can play a role in the debilitating Crohn's disease. This extremely painful disease causes intense inflammation of the digestive tract, abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, and often requires surgery. In a moment, I'm going to show you my method that works to keep Candida in check and help balance your gut microbiome. It's an easy method that takes just seconds a day. Before I do, I want to discuss something which is not a food, but is one of the main causes of most of my patients' digestive troubles. You deal with it when you're driving, during the workday, and when you get home at night. It is something none of us are immune from. I'm talking about stress. In today's fast-paced world, your body can't properly heal from the onslaught of daily stresses, and you end up operating in a constant, low-grade state of emergency. Like I mentioned a minute ago, our gut communicates directly with our brain by sending text messages back and forth. This is referred to as bidirectional communication, and it takes place over a neurological highway called the brain-gut axis. You probably have heard the expression, "I'm so worried, it's making me sick to my stomach." The reason this happens is that stress can trigger gastrointestinal pain and other symptoms. It also works in the other direction. 2 recent scientific studies demonstrated the bidirectional nature of the brain-gut axis. The first study is from McMaster University in Canada, which showed that gut microbes play a crucial role in inducing stress, anxiety, and depression. In the other study, conducted by The Ohio State University, researchers demonstrated that exposure to stress changed the diversity and number of gut microorganisms. The good gut bacteria Bacteroides fell by 20 to 25%, while a harmful gut bacterium, Clostridium, increased in a similar amount. Clostridium is one bacteria you don't want to allow to grow out of control, as it includes several major human pathogens causing botulism and diarrhea. I think now you can see why it's important to control your stress levels. Dr. Eva Selab with Harvard Medical School has extensively researched the brain-gut axis and explained that studies show patients who were given good gut bacteria strains saw their anxiety levels, perception of stress, and mental outlook improve. She recently wrote, "This may sound implausible to you, but the notion that good bacteria not only influence what your gut digests and absorbs, but that they also affect the degree of inflammation throughout your body, as well as your mood and energy level, is gaining traction among researchers. The results so far have been quite amazing." Let me share with you a story about a patient of mine, a successful businessman in his 40s who, despite having a great job and family life, began experiencing bouts of depression and attacks of anxiety. He told me he was dealing with some new challenges at work, and this caused him to have difficulty in doing normal, everyday things, such as effectively communicating with his coworkers, clients, friends, and even his wife and children. Not only was his work and family life suffering, his social life was also diminishing because he lost interest in doing things he'd always enjoyed, such as having dinner with friends and playing golf. Sleep was also becoming an issue for him. And if it wasn't enough that he was always tired, he also began finding traces of blood in his stool. After running some initial tests, I determined he'd developed hemorrhoids, which can be the result of stress. He took my advice and began a new regimen, one that I'm going to share with you. And within a few months, he was experiencing a tremendous turnaround. He was sleeping better, the anxiety attacks went away, his work and family life got back on track, and he was finally able to start enjoying life again. This gentleman was just one of many patients who come to see me at my office complaining about stress, anxiety, depression, and fatigue. While these are neurological issues, many of my patients almost always also have acid reflux, bloating, gas, or irregular bowel issues. The connection between the two is almost always present, and so I treat the underlying symptoms with my one easy trick. In a short time, when my patients come back for a follow-up appointment, I can actually see the difference in their mood. It's all about improving your gut balance. It's a pretty neat part of my job to watch this one method that I'm going to tell you about work so well. But before I do, I want you to be aware of another very prevalent cause of the imbalance of good and bad bacteria. Thanks to the advancement of modern medicine, we've been able to develop some amazing antibiotics that have helped prevent and cure many infections. The challenge is that today, millions of unnecessary antibiotics are prescribed every year for ailments that don't warrant their use. Researchers have found a 65% rise in worldwide consumption of antibiotics from 2000 to 2015. Antibiotics do a great job of killing off bad bacteria. The problem is antibiotics are indiscriminate and kill off good bacteria as they kill off the bad bacteria. You need these friendly bacteria to reduce and balance the harmful bacteria in your gut. Some bacteria can be resistant to antibiotics, and if the good bacteria aren't there to fight them off, the bad bacteria might be left to grow and multiply at a quicker rate. Even if you try to avoid taking antibiotics when unnecessary, you might be falling victim to them daily without even realizing it. Approximately 80% of the antibiotics sold in America are used in the production of meat and poultry, which is then served up to you at your next meal. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that 20% of ground meat purchased in supermarkets contained salmonella bacteria, and of that 20%, a staggering 84% had some antibiotic resistance. Most meat comes from animals which live in crowded and usually unsanitary conditions. Ranchers use antibiotic drugs to prevent disease and promote animals' healthy growth. There's little wonder why the American Medical Association and the World Health Organization are calling on farmers and ranchers to significantly reduce the abundantly widespread use of antibiotics in farm animals. Bad bacteria can mutate to become unaffected by antibiotics. This is leading to a worldwide epidemic called antibiotic resistance. The latest study, published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, predicts that global use of antibiotics could rise more than 300% by 2030, from 42 billion doses per day in 2015 to 128 billion by the end of the next decade. That is some serious antibiotic use. A 2014 study found that antibiotic resistance will kill 300 million people by 2050. David Cameron, former UK Prime Minister, reacted to the results of the study by saying, "If we fail to act, we're looking at an almost unthinkable scenario where antibiotics no longer work, and we are cast back into the dark ages of medicine." Don't get me wrong, antibiotics can save lives when used properly. I'm not saying you must become a vegan and give up meat entirely, but I do recommend that you eat it in moderation. And next time you're at the grocery store, ask them to show you the antibiotic-free meat options. The method I'm going to show you will not require you to radically change how you eat and live, but it will help protect you from illness and your gut from the overgrowth of bad bacterial strains. An important step to my method is to properly balance the gut, which is home to trillions of bacteria. Over 1,000 different species of bacteria are living in your body. Your human cells are outnumbered by these bacteria at a ratio of 10 to 1. If you think that is a lot of non-human bacteria, you might be even more shocked to hear that your body is also home to viruses which outnumber your bacteria also by a factor of 10 to 1. That's over 1 quadrillion viruses living inside your body. We have a symbiotic relationship with these microorganisms. They all live together in a complex internal ecosystem in your digestive tract called the gut microbiome. In exchange for you giving the bacteria food and shelter, they help by breaking down your food into carbohydrates, fats, and proteins that you use for energy and cellular regeneration. All goes well in your body until factors change the delicate microbiome balance. Scientists who worked on the groundbreaking Human Genome Project discovered that lifestyle can dramatically impact your microbiome. Everything from the processed foods we eat to the polluted air we breathe, even sunscreen, lotions, and household cleaners can have an impact. The conclusion was that bad microbes can actually turn genes on and off. Genetics was only responsible for 10% of human diseases, and the other 90% was a result of environmental factors. The result of an imbalance can be much greater than just abdominal pains, constipation, diarrhea, and bloating. Imbalance can lead to obesity, diabetes, anxiety, depression, Crohn's disease, autism, and other neurological diseases, including Alzheimer's. Are you suffering from any of those digestive symptoms? If so, your digestive and immune systems are being compromised and are in dire need of support. The overgrowth of bad bacteria is triggering an immune response leading to inflammation. You may not realize it, but your gut houses 70% of your immune system. An imbalance in the gut weakens your immune system and makes you far more susceptible to pathogen attacks. To maintain proper balance, your gut microbiome uses your immune system, hormones, and nerve signals to give directions to your brain and central nervous system. A topic that often came up on our show, The Doctors, was about weight. Everyone wants to know what they can do to shed those unwanted extra pounds. Many have tried the fad diets, and others have even put in the hard work at the gym to no avail. If this sounds like you, the reality is, you're not alone. Nearly 7 out of 10 Americans are overweight, and new government data shows that nearly 40%, or roughly 100 million Americans, are considered obese. That's a huge increase when you compare that in the 1970s, only 15% of Americans were considered obese. While that may sound a bit depressing, the good news is we now better understand the important role our gut microbes play in regulating your body's fat storage. When your body's not getting enough nutrients, it holds on to fat as a way of protection in case the nutrients stop coming. Recent studies of obese individuals found higher levels of 2 major classes of bacteria that can cause increased inflammation, leading to a leaky gut. Ever wonder why you feel hungry even after you just ate not too long ago? The hormone leptin is what tells your brain if you're hungry or full. New research has shown that certain bacterial gut changes can reduce leptin sensitivity, making you always think you're hungry, leading to unwanted weight gain. Stay with me, as in a moment, I'm going to show you how my one method can help get your leptin hormone to work for you and not against you. And let me tell you, this method works for more than just managing your weight. I was recently referred a patient. For our discussion, let's call her Cindy, and she was suffering with arthritic joint pain. Her doctor had her on a popular arthritis medication that is known to have some side effects. Cindy came to see me complaining about having abdominal pain and diarrhea. She also felt tired all the time and was having trouble concentrating at work. One of the things Cindy missed being able to do was gardening on the weekends because of her joint pain. She loved gardening and was bummed not to be able to do it pain-free. I ran some tests on Cindy and discovered she had ulcerative colitis. Cindy, like many of my patients, was shocked to hear that up to 30% of people with ulcerative colitis also have swollen, painful joints. In fact, it's the most common non-GI symptom of the disease. I explained to her that ulcerative colitis is an inflammatory bowel disease, and many of the drugs used to treat arthritis and joint pain actually irritate the intestines and make the inflammation worse. I put Cindy on the same regimen I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. When she came back to see me for a follow-up, as soon as I walked into the room, Cindy jumped up and gave me a big hug. She was so excited to tell me about the new vegetables she'd planted in her garden. My one method was able to get control of her ulcerative colitis. Her joint pain was gone, and so was her prescription medication. These are the things that excite me about being a doctor. What excites me most is what I'm about to reveal to you. My one easy method that can make such an impactful difference in your life. There was no way Cindy could have known that her joint pain was being caused by her gut microbiome. Our bodies are complicated organisms, and everything from the food we eat to the amount of sleep and exercise we get to how we handle stress can impact your delicate microbiome. One of the things I've taught my own children is that perfection is not actually possible to achieve. You should try to avoid taking antibiotics unnecessarily, get plenty of sleep, exercise frequently, and try to only eat real, unprocessed, natural, antibiotic-free, and organic foods. But we all know it's impossible to be perfect. There are also things in life you can't control, like air pollution. Who wants to live life in a bubble? Part of living is enjoying life. If you have a favorite food, you should get to enjoy it from time to time. I want you to be able to join your friends at a dinner party and not worry about each ingredient in every dish. And if you get sick or injured and are instructed to take antibiotics, but choose not to take them, we both know you're being foolish. And the thing about stress is, it's just part of everyday life. You can try and reduce stress, but there's no way to completely avoid it. I'm happy to tell you that there is a solution. A way to live life to its fullest and not have to worry about what you're eating and how it might cause you to spend the rest of the day with an upset stomach. Fortunately, there's a way to do just that. We now know that the gut microbiome is a critical part of staying healthy, and supporting your microbiome isn't as complicated as it might seem. By infusing your gut with a constant flow of friendly bacteria in different varieties, we can make sure your microbiome stays balanced and is able to fight off the bad bacteria. The method I use to do this, which I always recommend to all my patients, is with probiotics. This one method is the gateway to restoring your gut balance and improving everything from your digestion to energy levels, mood, memory, and focus. A strong, effective, and scientifically proven probiotic that gets into your colon can literally change your life. Probiotics have received a lot of attention in the news for how well they work. Maybe you've even taken a probiotic at some point. But with all the popularity, there's a lot of confusion as to which probiotics really work and which will do nothing for you. You must know what to look for, and it's something that I've studied for a long time. I cracked the code to probiotics, and I'm going to share it with you. To best understand it, first let me spend a minute explaining how probiotics work. Probiotics are live, friendly bacteria similar to the good bacteria found in your gut. When you ingest these good bacteria cultures, they make it into your microbiome, attach to the walls of your intestine, and begin to colonize. As they grow, they help optimize your digestion of food and the key absorption of nutrients. They also are great at helping to produce vitamins, absorb minerals, get rid of nasty toxins, boost your immune system, and improve your digestion. Starting in the early 1990s, clinical studies began indicating that probiotics can help a variety of ailments from gastrointestinal issues to even delaying the development of allergies in children. It was even discovered that one way to get some of these good bacteria into your gut was by eating fermented foods like sauerkraut, pickles, kefir, and even kimchi. As the popularity of probiotics have grown, so too have their availability on supermarket and pharmacy shelves. During my own research, I was surprised to learn that annual global sales of probiotic supplements in 2016 were $3.7 billion, and reports indicate that sales are expected to rise to $17.4 billion by 2027. However, as a gastroenterologist, I can tell you that not all probiotics are the same. Different strains of the bacteria have different effects, and many of the brands I've seen on shelves contain ineffective strains, or even worse, some contain harmful additives. I'm going to show you what to look for so you can avoid them in a minute. I'm telling you the same thing I tell all my patients. If you adhere to a proper diet, avoid some of the bad foods I revealed earlier, and get a powerful infusion from a quality probiotic, you'll not only correct your gut balance, but also be able to reclaim and enhance your overall health and well-being. But don't just take my word for it. The School of Medicine and Health at Durham University conducted a systematic review of 70 randomized, placebo-controlled trials on probiotics between 2012 and 2017. They found clear evidence that probiotics can help with a variety of issues, ranging from relieving gastrointestinal symptoms in patients with IBS to the prevention of diarrhea caused by antibiotics. What is fascinating is that certain strains have been shown to offer unique benefits. A review of 5 controlled studies published in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found that certain strains can improve stool consistency and frequency of bowel movements in people with constipation. A 2012 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found specific strains boost the immune system. I know what you might be asking yourself. How about weight loss? The answer is yes. A 2011 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that certain strains can reduce abdominal fat and body weight. But as a father, one study had the biggest impact on me, as it literally is saving babies' lives today. In 2008, the University of Nebraska Medical Center began the largest clinical study ever conducted on probiotic strains, involving 4,500 newborn babies in India. They discovered that when the right kind of microbes were given to babies, they were able to reduce the chances of a life-threatening condition called sepsis by 40%. The initial plan was to study over 8,000 babies, but based on the preponderance of evidence, they decided to end the study early so they could help as many babies as possible right away. Studies aside, I have years of personal experience with my patients taking probiotics. This is how I know it's not just a trendy health craze or fad. Many patients come to me to fix their issues after they've tried everything on the market. An active man in his late 70s, we'll call him Bob, came to see me dealing with abdominal pain and bloating. He had tried different diets, antacids, vitamins, even prescription medication, but nothing was helping. Within months of putting him on a probiotic with clinically studied strains, he was back doing the things he loves, only now without the pain. Now, if you noticed, I said something very important about the probiotic I prescribed for that patient, that it contained clinically studied strains. That may have you wondering if the probiotic I gave him is the same kind you can find at your local drugstore. Let's talk about that. For a probiotic to get my seal of approval, it must adhere to the following 5 criteria. Miss any one of these, and you'll end up flushing your hard-earned money down the proverbial toilet. My number one requirement for a probiotic is that it has the right strains and a diverse amount of them. With over 1,000 different species of bacteria living in your gut, you need to have a diversity of strains to be the most effective. Not just any strains, but clinically researched strains. Remember how I mentioned that studies show that specific strains do have different effects on the body? That's why you need to have the right strains and a diversity of them as well. Most over-the-counter probiotic supplements only contain 1 or 2 strains. Let me ask you a question. If I told you that you just won a new car, you'd be excited, right? Of course, who wouldn't be? But at some point, you would want to know if you won a Ford Fiesta or a Mercedes S-Class. This brings me to my second requirement. Just because a brand lists a popular strain on their list of ingredients doesn't tell you if it's a cheap generic version or one that has been clinically tested and proven to be effective. Each strain needs to have its exact substrain listed on the same line. It should set off an alarm for you if you see a brand not list the substrains. Number 3, potency counts. The potency of probiotics are measured by the number of colony-forming units, commonly referred to as CFUs. The higher the number of CFUs in a probiotic, the greater the impact it can have on the growth of good bacteria within your gut flora. Dr. Mark Hyman, the best-selling author and medical director at the renowned Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine, said, "I recommend taking very high-potency probiotics. Look for at least 25 to 50 billion live CFUs from a variety of strains." Number 4. It's all about the capsule. You can have the world's best bacterial strains, but if they can't make it through the sea of stomach acid, it will not do you any good. It's critical that a probiotic have the correct delivery system in the form of a proven and tested acid-resistant capsule, so you can be assured a significantly high percentage of the good bacteria reach your intestines alive and can get to work helping improve your digestion. This is what brings me to my 5th and final requirement: product packaging. Probiotic bacteria are living organisms, and their survival can be greatly affected by their environment. You might remember back to when you had to refrigerate probiotic supplements. Thankfully, new technology has made this no longer necessary. But what is necessary is to protect the bacteria from harmful light, moisture, and oxygen. To keep these elements out, a probiotic must use a dark amber glass bottle. Avoid probiotics sold in plastic bottles as they can let moisture in, rendering the bacteria useless. Just a moment ago, I touched upon how different strains of probiotic bacteria provide unique benefits to you. Many strains work together to influence your health, and those different strains are concentrated in various places along your digestive tract. I want to highlight a few specific strains you should look for, as they have a lot of scientific studies behind them and will give you your best chance of getting real results. The most important bacteria are the lactobacillus species, and they are found in the small intestine. If you're one of the millions of Americans who have a hard time digesting dairy, then you'll want to make note of this strain. You'll be happy to hear that lactobacillus' primary functions is to produce lactase, the enzyme needed to break down the sugar in milk called lactose. Lactobacillus also produces lactic acid, resulting in an acidic environment, which helps protect against harmful microorganisms in your digestive tract. My personal favorite strain of the lactobacillus species is L. acidophilus. I like that it colonizes most densely in the small intestine, where it works to protect the integrity of the intestinal wall. It also increases the absorption of many minerals, such as iron, calcium, and magnesium. Clinical studies showed that patients who were given L. acidophilus had significantly more relief from digestive discomfort than those who took the placebo. It's also been shown to help alleviate diarrhea, boost the immune system, and support vaginal health. Be sure that you choose a probiotic that pairs the strains L. acidophilus with B. bifidum. They've been shown to work well together to fight off the harmful effects of antibiotics by modulating the response of microflora in your intestines. B. bifidum is also great at breaking down complex carbohydrates, fat, and protein so your body can use them more efficiently. Another extremely important strain you should be sure your probiotic has is Lactobacillus rhamnosus. This strain has been shown to be a powerful digestion aid, prevent antibiotic-associated diarrhea, and even reduces the risk of respiratory infections. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I've started recommending L. rhamnosus to my patients as a travel probiotic because I was getting so many calls about patients getting traveler's diarrhea and constipation, while other patients just get anxious about traveling. In a study conducted with Americans flying from New York to developing countries, half the people were given the L. rhamnosus probiotic and the other half a placebo. The results were pretty remarkable, as those who took L. rhamnosus had a 47% lower rate of diarrhea. Even if you don't have any immediate travel plans, L. rhamnosus is a true whole-body probiotic, as it helps prevent diarrhea, relieves constipation, and even can help reduce anxiety. Over years of researching digestive diseases, I knew what was needed in a probiotic supplement to be effective, but I just couldn't find one that matched my 5 requirements. I didn't want to settle for a probiotic that didn't have the correct diversity of strains and potency. I discovered that some brands were filled with harmful additives and fillers, and others didn't even contain what was on their label. You might remember me telling you about my father and partner, Dr. James Sherman. One night, we were catching up over dinner, chatting about some incredible medical advancements. As the past clinical chief of gastroenterology at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, my father has seen a lot change over the years. We talked for a while about how there must be a way to get more diverse and potent strains in a capsule and still deliver them alive into the digestive tract. I knew with all the new advancements, there had to be a way to do better than just 2 to 3 strains with low potencies. I also knew giving my patients a dozen or more capsules of different strains was unrealistic and a hassle. I needed to get it all in one simple, easy-to-take pill. I went through a lot of probiotic brands, and after some years and a lot of research, I finally found a brand that had the perfect combination of diverse, clinically studied, lab-tested strains and substrains for maximum effectiveness. The potency even exceeded the number of colony-forming units that Dr. Hyman from the Cleveland Clinic recommended. Even the capsule they used had been tried and tested to safely carry and keep alive the strains to the gut. It's an all-natural formula containing no harmful ingredients. I was more than pleased to see it came in an airtight, sealed, dark amber glass jar. For years, people who've seen me on the show The Doctors stop and ask me which probiotic supplement do I recommend. I'm proud to have now found that product. It's called Dynamic Biotics and is formulated by Stonehenge Health. This is the highest quality and most potent probiotic supplement I've come across. The research team at Stonehenge Health carefully selected an impressive diversity of 16 clinically proven and well-researched strains and substrains. Each serves a specific function and are powered with an ample supply of CFUs. When it comes to improving gut bacteria balance, Dynamic Biotics is the most effective probiotic blend available anywhere, and the only brand I've found to get it all right. Microorganisms are extremely fragile, making manufacturing a potent probiotic blend complex. To successfully place billions of live cultures into a single capsule requires a strictly controlled, sterilized laboratory. The real hurdle comes in keeping the cultures alive so they can make their way to the precise location in your digestive tract needed for them to carry out their mission. Dynamic Biotics uses a proven time-release capsule which is acid and bowel resistant. This capsule does not contain any harmful additives that you find in so many other brands. I'll touch more on that in a moment, but first, let me explain what makes the strains found in Dynamic Biotics so critical. In speaking with the head of research and development at Stonehenge Health, I was impressed to learn about its partnerships with the nation's top scientists and labs. While it would have been much easier for them to offer a few strains, or even multiple strains in an ineffective amount, that's not what they're about. Stonehenge Health set out to change the game with 16 super-strength strains of live probiotics, each acting like laser-guided missiles on a specific mission to improve your health. Countless studies over the years have shown a clear link between bowel health and many of the most common health complaints. We now know that certain strains confer unique benefits. Some have the power to control the growth of bad bacteria, to strengthen your gut lining, and to prevent diarrhea, constipation, and irritable bowel syndrome. Others can enhance your immune function and help guard against infections. There are even specific strains that improve metabolism and promote weight loss. You can see now why Dynamic Biotics is not just another Me Too probiotic sitting on the shelf at your local vitamin store. In fact, in a minute, I'll explain why they don't even sell it in stores. For now, rest assured knowing that the strains in their formula will go to work like tenacious warriors, stopping at nothing to properly balance your gut microbiome. While 16 strains make Dynamic Biotics precisely that, dynamic, it isn't worth much if it doesn't have the strength in numbers when it comes to CFUs. Once again, Stonehenge Health did not let us down and packed each capsule with an impressive 50 billion live colony-forming units, making it the most powerful formula available on the market. With power comes speed, and this formula was created to go right to work in repairing your digestive system in a couple of short weeks, not months. That means before you've finished your very first bottle, you'll be noticing a difference in the way you digest your food, in the increased level of energy you have, and your overall feeling of well-being. Now, all of what I just mentioned is important, but to really win my seal of approval, a product needs to be safe for all my patients to take. Dynamic Biotics exceeds that requirement as it doesn't contain any common allergens, harmful fillers, toxins, or preservatives. The time-release capsule is remarkable as it safely delivers the live strains directly to your gut, and many patients love that these capsules are non-GMO, vegetarian, and free of soy, lactose, and gluten. While Dynamic Biotics has a fast-acting, powerful, and effective formula in a cutting-edge time-release capsule, all of that is meaningless if the live strains get exposed to light, moisture, and oxygen. These harmful elements have been shown to easily leak through typical plastic bottles during storage and shipping, rendering the strains dead once the product hits your doorstep. Stonehenge Health knows this important fact, and so each capsule is stored safely in a dark amber glass bottle, protecting them from harmful impacts of light and moisture. Just like your body needs the right foods to survive, grow, and thrive, so do the live bacterial strains. This food is called prebiotics, and it helps to stimulate the healthy growth of probiotics so they continue to work long after making it into your gut. Each capsule of Dynamic Biotics includes not just any prebiotic, but an ample supply of Nutriflora. This prebiotic has over 20 years of research and more than 200 scientific publications validating its ability to effectively support live strains. With the right food, the strains can rapidly colonize in your microbiome, build up defenses, optimize gut balance, improve digestion, and start delivering the whole body benefits you expect. All of this is what makes for a high-quality probiotic supplement that really works. Thousands have already used Dynamic Biotics with tremendous results. I've seen this for myself, with my patients who are on a probiotics regimen, and with those who, like you, have been introduced to Stonehenge Health's Dynamic Biotics through this video and are using it with great success. Aaron from Miami, Florida is a great example. He's a law enforcement officer whose stressful lifestyle had been causing him digestive problems. Aaron said the following.
It helped me, my digestive system. It helped keep me on a good regimen, especially whenever not being able to eat proper food. And it really worked for me.
Alicia from Brownsville, California sent in a video telling us,
I think it's really important as a teacher to have good digestion and a strong immune system. I'm exposed to everything in the classroom and I can't take time off work. So I gave Dynamic Biotics a chance and I've really noticed a difference in both my mental and physical well-being.
Virgil from Shreveport, Louisiana sent us a video saying,
there are a lot of probiotics on the market, but I have found most are very weak and do little to nothing for me. With Dynamic Biotics, it's not like that. I started using it and feeling a difference in just a couple of days. It's great how much better I'm feeling. I'm happier and I have more energy and better digestion. It's really incredible and I recommend it to everybody.
So take it from me, along with Aaron, Alicia, Virgil, and the thousands of others who've improved their health and lives with Dynamic Biotics. I am frequently asked how long until someone can see results. As a doctor, I can tell you that every person's body is different, and so I recommend giving it 3 to 4 weeks to see results. Stick with the daily regimen, and within 2 to 3 months, you should see some remarkable results. Some even report seeing results in a matter of just a couple of weeks. You're probably wondering, how will you know when it starts to work? Some of the very first signs will be a reduction in the cravings you have for junk food. You'll start feeling more energetic, and your digestion will improve. Over the next couple of months, you'll see much more regularity in your bowel movements, clearer skin, better sleep, and an improved mood. And this incredible supplement has also done wonders for those who's suffering from Crohn's disease, chronic sinus issues, eczema. It can even help support healthy cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Keep in mind that each strain of Dynamic Biotics is rigorously tested before it goes into your capsule, first by the company and a second time by an independent third-party FDA-approved laboratory. It's an industry-leading approach that ensures each bottle contains the freshest, purest, and most potent live probiotic strains. Now, whether you're interested in improving your low energy and fatigue or fixing the root cause of your indigestion, bloating, and stomach cramps, I'm sure you're ready to give Dynamic Biotics, packed with 16 diverse and powerful strains, a try. Sure, you could search the aisles of specialty health food stores or scour the web for each of these probiotic strains and the essential prebiotics yourself. But I'm sure we can agree that duplicating this specific formula is time-consuming and pricey. The reality is, it would cost you more than $150 for just a 1-month supply. No one should have to spend that. Stonehenge Health uses their relationships in the scientific community to develop and manufacture this exceptionally potent product without their customers having to absorb high retail costs, all while still maintaining the very best quality standards. Having a reasonable price is important to me. I became a doctor for one simple reason: to help people in need, not to profit off of them. I want everyone to get the benefits of these 16 critical probiotic strains and not have to sacrifice anything from their budget to have to afford Dynamic Biotics. Now, if you came to see me in my office in Beverly Hills, you would pay the full price of $89 per bottle. But by ordering through this presentation today, you'll not pay anywhere near that price. I worked closely with Stonehenge Health to create a special offer exclusive to new customers. I convinced them to cut the price for a limited time. Because for the same reason that I joined the show of the doctors, this presentation is about helping people and not about money. I want to impact as many lives as possible. And this is why you are getting Dynamic Biotics for the exclusive discount price of just $44.95, saving you over $44 off the retail price. You should know that this special discount price is for a limited time, and I have no idea how long it will last. So I urge you to act fast. Now, there's one more thing that I need to tell you. These rock bottom prices are exclusive to first-time customers through this video presentation and while supplies last. Just don't click away from this page, as it may cause you to lose your eligibility for this heavily discounted price. I know this sounds strict, but it's because we have very limited inventory. The 16 super potent strains in Dynamic Biotics are very hard to source. It's not a run-of-the-mill formula that you can get on any supermarket shelf. And this kind of potency can only be achieved by making it in small batches. Large manufacturing processes water down the potency and risks the high-quality standard that Stonehenge Health focuses on. And each time a new batch goes into stock, Dynamic Biotics sells out in just a few short days. You watched this presentation and now know how Dynamic Biotics can change your life. So, I want you to have your opportunity to try it for yourself. Many customers have reached out about how to get a larger supply. Whether it's for your family, friends, or your personal use for the long term, there's good news. I was able to convince Stonehenge Health to create special packages of Dynamic Biotics. And that means new customers get to enjoy even bigger savings for buying in bulk. The most popular has been the 3-pack, which gives you 3 full months of Dynamic Biotics for just $44.95 per month. Keep in mind that these are no ordinary probiotics, and they come in an airtight dark amber glass bottle, making them shelf-stable for up to 2 years. Studies show that taking a probiotic daily is critical to your gut health, and that is precisely why I recommend all my patients start with a 3-pack. You don't want to find yourself running out of your initial supply too quickly. Now, the package with the biggest savings is the family bundle of 6 bottles. I made sure that this package was affordable for all, so you can share the blessing of health with your loved ones. Be it your parents, your children, siblings, or dear friends, everyone is sure to appreciate you sharing this remarkable solution to restorative gut health. And I've arranged that when you order either the 3-pack or the 6-pack family bundle, Stonehenge Health will cover the cost of shipping. Remember, these low prices are for a limited time and only for first-time customers through this presentation. And since my goal in making this video is to be able to impact as many people as possible, I must set a limit of 1 multi-pack per person. Still on the fence about if Dynamic Biotics is right for you? You'll be happy to know that Stonehenge Health backs every order with an industry-leading 100% money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not fully satisfied with the results, you'll get every cent of your purchase back, no questions asked. Remember, Dynamic Biotics is not sold in stores. To remove the middleman and keep your costs down, Stonehenge Health has chosen to make it available exclusively online. Since I first decided to release this video, it has gone viral and has been viewed by thousands of people who've tried Dynamic Biotics. It has changed so many lives, and the strength in numbers has helped Stonehenge Health procure the hard-to-get strains in a large bulk order. These probiotics sell out quickly. Once your order has been processed, you'll receive a confirmation email, followed by the product, which will arrive in a few days. And don't forget, Dynamic Biotics comes with a full 90-day money-back guarantee, which means you get all the positive results with no negative risks. By simply clicking on this link right now, you'll be on your way to experiencing improved digestive health, stronger immunity, and an overall feeling of well-being you may have thought was gone forever. I can assure you, since releasing Dynamic Biotics, Stonehenge Health has proudly made a difference in the lives of thousands of people just like you. So, don't wait another moment. This life-changing supplement has been hard to keep in stock and is not available anywhere except at the Stonehenge Health website. These powerful probiotics, which have been freeze-dried, will remain viable without refrigeration for months, so be sure to stock up so you'll never be without them. This is the best probiotic supplement available anywhere at an incredible price. So, do not wait. Place your order now and do a big favor to those you care about and share this incredible offer with them. Dynamic Biotics is formulated and proudly manufactured here in the USA at FDA-approved and regulated facilities that adheres to strict GMP practices. It is third-party tested for quality assurance, purity, and potency. You can purchase this power-packed probiotic supplement with nothing to lose besides the health issues that are holding you back from enjoying life to the fullest. Remember, if you don't see positive results within 90 days, you'll receive a 100% refund. In fact, if any time during the first 90 days you don't start feeling better, with improved digestion, more energy, and better overall well-being, just return it for that guaranteed full refund. This is how sure Stonehenge Health and I are that you'll see dramatic results fast. I'm excited to have been given the chance to share this vitally important information with you. As a doctor, it is my goal that everyone I meet can be feeling better, looking better, and living life to the fullest. To do that, just click the link below to order Dynamic Biotics, or if you prefer, call 800-930-5965, and one of Stonehenge Health's knowledgeable sales reps will have your order prepared and on its way. When you receive your first order of Dynamic Biotics, just open the dark amber glass bottle designed to protect the probiotics against the harmful impacts of moisture and light, and take 1 capsule per day on an empty stomach or between meals. With its dynamic mix of 16 strains of probiotics with 50 billion CFUs and a prebiotic fiber, Dynamic Biotics will completely change your health and your life. And with Stonehenge Health's 90-day guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Right now, before this video ends, is the time for you to act, to get yourself on the path to healthy digestion, increased energy, improved moods, and an overall feeling of well-being you may have thought you could never experience again. Your body is about to know what it feels like to have proper bacterial balance, which will end your cravings for the sugar and preservative-filled foods that are jeopardizing your health with each bite. So, don't put it off for another second. Click on the link below right now. Still watching? You may have some questions about probiotics, how they work, and if they're a good choice for you. I often hear from my patients that they want to know more about probiotics. I put together the top questions that I've been asked over my years as a doctor to help you get a more detailed understanding of how probiotics can help you and why you need to be taking them daily. This first question is probably the most important. What are probiotics and how will they help me? Probiotics are living-friendly, good microorganism bacteria that, when consumed in sufficient quantities and in various helpful strains, help your digestive system's microbiome to optimally process the foods you eat, keeping your gut in a healthy balance. They can improve everything from your digestion to your energy levels, your mood, memory, and focus. Probiotics work by attaching to the walls of your intestine and then grow and colonize to keep your gut balanced. The colonization isn't permanent, however, so you must continually add more probiotics to the mix to keep the health balance. Probiotics stimulate the cell receptors that turn on select physiological responses, including the making of digestive enzymes. They work to seal the gaps between cells in your intestines, often referred to as leaky gut, and help your immune system fight off the bad bacteria that causes your entire body inflammation and harm. Probiotics also help you get the maximum number of vitamins from the foods you eat. They also help you absorb more minerals, help to get rid of nasty toxins that build up in your body, help to boost your immune system and improve your digestion, providing you with the full amount of energy and benefits from everything you consume. Why do I need to take probiotics, and who would benefit most from taking them? Adding probiotics to your daily routine is crucial. It's nearly impossible to avoid the processed foods and unhealthy snacks that the vast majority of Americans eat on a regular basis. Probiotics are a fantastic helper in offsetting the damage that is done by consuming these types of foods. Probiotics can be used as a boost to quickly start a healthier diet, or to offset the damaging effects of antibiotics or illness. Probiotics are a great way to assist your gut with the good bacteria it needs to stimulate enzyme production and get your gut back in balance. Taking a great probiotic supplement is just the thing your body needs to bounce back quickly from injury or illness, as well as help you prevent future illnesses at the same time. Probiotics are helpful to just about everyone. While I don't treat every patient I meet the same, taking a top-quality probiotic along with making some minor changes to your diet is something I've seen work for most of my patients and is something you can do right away to reap significant benefit. What should I look for in a good probiotic, and what should I avoid? There are many probiotics on the market, but many have very low potency, with limited number of CFU counts and low numbers of unique strains. There are also many probiotics that aren't third-party tested. It's best to avoid wasting your money on these sorts of products, as they'll provide you with limited to no benefit and may be harmful for you as well, if not properly independently tested. It's also important to look for a company that manufactures the probiotic supplement in America. Look for a company that provides you with the breakdown of ingredient information and a company that stands behind their product. With so many companies jumping on board the probiotic bandwagon, it's important to realize that not all probiotics are the same. You want to avoid the products with unnecessary preservatives and fillers. As an example, some companies use maltodextrin, which can increase diarrhea, while others use gluten-derived fillers, which can further irritate the lining in your gut. It's best to look for probiotic supplements that have only the purest of ingredients with the strongest potency, the highest number of CFUs, and the correct diverse strains per serving. It's important to buy from a company you can trust, a company that backs up their product and guarantees their probiotic will work for you. There is no doubt in my mind that Stonehenge Health's Dynamic Biotics is just that product. Another question I often hear: do I need to refrigerate my probiotics? The quick answer is no, but it really depends on how the probiotic was manufactured, the potency, and the strain it contains. Some strains of probiotics actually are better left at room temperature. The viability of the strains is critical to them being able to be effective inside your gut once taken. A bottle stored in a cool, dark cabinet away from direct sunlight can remain viable for up to a year. Stonehenge Health Dynamic Biotics is packaged in a dark amber glass bottle to protect against the harmful impacts of sunlight and moisture, so refrigeration is not necessary. Keep the bottle away from direct sunlight and tightly sealed for optimal viability of the probiotic strains. What are prebiotics, and do I need them also? Prebiotics are different from probiotics. I know it can be a bit confusing to differentiate between the two, but let me break it down for you. Prebiotics are the food that probiotics eat and require to live. Probiotics need them to be able to do their helpful work inside your gut. Nutriflora is a type of prebiotic fiber that is added to the probiotic supplement to feed them. Not all fiber works to feed probiotics, which is why Nutriflora was developed as the specific food the probiotic bacteria needs to thrive. Stonehenge Health Dynamic Biotics includes Nutriflora prebiotic fiber to feed the probiotics. Can I take probiotics along with a multivitamin supplement? Yes, absolutely. As far as I've seen, there aren't any medications or supplements that will negatively interact with probiotics. The medical literature supports that probiotics are very safe and effective when taken with other medications, supplements, multivitamins, and even antibiotics. Many doctors and hospitals now prescribe patients to take a probiotic when receiving antibiotics as a way to prevent C. diff infections and diarrhea that can be associated with taking antibiotics. When during my day should I take probiotics? Is it okay to eat before I take them? I recommend that my patients take probiotics whenever is the easiest time of day for them. Many people like to take them first thing in the morning, but you can work them into your daily routine at whatever time works best for you. I recommend you take them on an empty stomach before a meal, however, so they can speed their way through your stomach and get right to work in your digestive system. Why do you recommend Stonehenge Health's probiotic supplement Dynamic Biotics? Dynamic Biotics has the most potent combination of unique strains and the highest number of CFUs of any probiotic on the market. With 16 dynamic strains and over 50 billion CFUs, plus Nutriflora prebiotic fiber in each veggie capsule, only Dynamic Biotics has the full package of probiotic support you need daily. I looked at a ton of probiotics during my research, but found only Stonehenge Health was manufacturing the complete solution to your probiotic needs. Stonehenge Health is an excellent company who rigorously tests every product they manufacture to make sure it's completely safe and effective. They don't add any synthetic or toxic fillers, so you can rest assured that what you're getting is safe. Plus, Stonehenge Health stands behind everything they sell with an industry-leading 90-day money-back guarantee. You really do have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Try Stonehenge Health's Dynamic Biotics for yourself risk-free today. To get started on your journey to great digestive health, just click on the link below.